Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to cut through all the noise and find the absolute best way for you to start learning to code in 2026. If you've ever felt completely stuck before you even typed a single character, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get you a roadmap.
Does that hit a little too close to home? Yeah, it's a story I think we've all lived. You get that huge burst of motivation, you open up a million browser tabs, and then it all just kind of fizzles out. It feels like a motivation problem, but I promise you, it's usually not.
See, the real problem is just choice paralysis. There are literally thousands of courses and tutorials out there, but no one gives you a clear map. You end up spending way more energy deciding where to learn than actually, learning. So today, we're providing that map.
Okay, so your first big step is choosing a programming language. And this is where a lot of people freeze up. But please, don't overthink this. This is not a lifelong commitment, okay? It's just a starting point. The whole goal is just to pick one and get the ball rolling. Honestly, for most people, the choice can be boiled down to this. If you're excited by things like data, artificial intelligence, or just automating boring stuff, you should probably start with Python. But if you want to build the cool interactive websites and apps that you use every single day, then JavaScript is your ticket. For now, it really is that simple.
And this right here is the absolute heart of it. The core ideas you're going to learn, things like loops, functions, variables. Guess what? They're the same in almost every language. The key is to commit. Pick one horse and ride it. Go deep. That is where the real learning kicks in.
All right, so you've got a language in your head. Now for the big question. Where do you actually go to write that first line of code? Let's break down the best free platforms that are out there right now. First up, we've got Free Code Camp. This is my #1 recommendation for anyone who wants a full, structured curriculum without ever, and I mean ever, hitting a paywall. It's just a massive nonprofit community that's totally dedicated to teaching people how to code for free. It's amazing.
So what makes it so good? It's the project-based approach. You don't just read about a concept, you immediately use it to build something real. That means when you finish a certification, you don't just get a digital certificate, you get a portfolio full of actual projects you can show off, and that is huge.
But let's be honest here, it's not for everybody. The core curriculum is all text-based, so if you're a visual learner who really needs videos to understand things, this might be a tough ride for you. And since it's all self-paced, you've got to be your own drill sergeant. You have to hold yourself accountable.
Next on the list is the Odin Project. Okay, so a Free Code Camp is kind of like the friendly local university. The Odin Project is more like a hardcore, career-focused boot camp. It makes no apologies. It is 100% designed to turn you into a professional web developer. The Odin Project's whole philosophy is to teach you what you actually need to know to get a job. It forces you to get comfortable with pro tools like the command line and Git right from the start. It doesn't just teach you to follow instructions. It teaches you how to think like an actual engineer. Now, the other side of that coin is that this path is tough. It is not a gentle on-ramp. You are going to feel lost sometimes, and you'll have to learn how to Google your way out of problems. But for the right person, that difficulty is a feature, not a bug, because it builds the exact kind of resilience you need for a real job. So what if you just want to dip your toes in the water? See if coding is even your thing. Well, that is where Codecademy comes in. It is, hands down, the most beginner-friendly, lowest-friction way to write your very first lines of code. Its genius is the interactive editor that lives right in your browser. You don't have to install anything, you just sign up and boom, you're coding instantly. This makes it the perfect playground to just experiment and figure out if you actually like doing this stuff before you commit to something more intense. But you have to know what it is and what it isn't. The free content has gotten a lot smaller over the years, and the intense hand-holding can sometimes trick you into thinking you're more skilled than you actually are. So think of it as the perfect on-ramp to get you started, but plan on graduating to a place like Free Code Camp or the Odin Project to go deeper. Okay, so we've talked a lot about tools, but the platform you choose, it's actually the less important part of this whole equation. What really truly separates the people who succeed from the people who quit, it's all about their habits. Think of these 5 habits as your secret weapons. Number 1, before you write any code, write out your plan in plain English. That's pseudocode. It lets you solve the hard part, the logic, first. 2, name things well. Your future self will thank you. 3, learn to use version control like Git. It's a time machine for your code. It'll save you from disaster. 4, always write a README file. It's the instruction manual for your project. And 5, just add one simple test to prove your code does what you think it does. These habits are what separate amateurs from pros. And this This is probably the single most important slide in this entire explainer. Learning to code is a marathon. It is not a sprint. A little bit of progress every single day builds a momentum that a frantic all-day coding session once a month can't even touch. Your habit is everything.
So how do we actually get started? Let's pull all of this into a clear, actionable plan you can use today.
So here's one last look at our top 3. If you want a structured path and free certificates to show your progress, you go with Free Code Camp. If you are dead serious about a career and you want a challenge, the Odin Project is for you. And if you just want to see what all the fuss is about, start with Codecademy.
So let's bring it all home. What you build is way more important than where you learn to build it. Your GitHub profile, full of real projects, is your real resume. The daily habit you build is way more powerful than the platform you choose. And being consistent with one language is so much more valuable than dabbling in 5.
All the resources have never been better or more accessible. The path is clearer than it's ever been. The only thing left to do now is start. So please, stop bookmarking tutorials, close all those extra tabs, and just ask yourself this: what's one small thing you can build, starting this week?